That is awesome. The recording is in progress. And I'm very happy to have Richard Staudner as my guest today on the video podcast of Visions of Change. One more time, it's been a while. It's also been a while since we saw each other, since we found out that we know each other from kindergarten.
You're right. It's a long time ago.
World is small. Thank you, Richard, for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You have done amazing things in the time since I saw you least. You have become a performance and health optimizer. You are a speaker, a coach. You are professional in everything around biohacking, which I'm very curious about. And we want to talk about that today. I also know you because you're working with Alex Vakic, the UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And my first question to you is, what's your favorite topic on health? Because I see you and you inspire me lots on Instagram, talking about all these things that we people come up with and questioning and doubts that we're having, especially in the times that we're living. So what's your favorite topic actually?
I would say cold, I love. But of course, it cannot be the favorite topic because it's just a part of the game. So like heat and like nutrition. But of course, when I say I'm a biohacker or a performance coach, everybody asks me about nutrition and supplementation. And I love that. I love those topics. But the most important topic, I would say, is more a mental part, is more stress reduction. So you can imagine after the last 4 or 5 years, they were really hard for everybody on this planet. Stress reduction should be the main thing we focus on when it comes to self-optimization, because you can have the best nutrition and the best supplements on earth and the best therapy and everything. But if your stress level is too high, if you have anxiety and you're near before a burnout or whatever, yeah, that's a really big problem. And this could kick you out of the game for many years. So from business, from management, from playing professional football, soccer, or whatever you're doing. So stress is the main thing I'm working on at the moment, yeah.
And I know that you're bringing out a book in May, Press Pause, or in German.
It's Drück mal Pause in German, yeah.
Yes.
I'm playing with the words in the title, yeah. It's
Very
right.
nice.
In May, this will come online, so it's a paperback. You can buy it, of course. It will be also an ebook, and the main topic is after the crisis, but it's not after the crisis. Of course, this never stopped. We have another crisis and another one and another one. But we see in the statistic that especially young people are having a hard time with that. But also we having a hard time with that, and older people, and the world changed totally. So we have to react on this. And I try to bring with that book, Press Pause, like a little guide. I want to explain how this happened, how it comes in our brains, in our body, in our mind, to the point where we say, I cannot anymore. It's too much for me. I cannot handle it anymore. I'm unhappy. I have anxiety. I'm near before a burnout. I'm depressed. All these things, and how to come out of this with a healthy lifestyle. I'm not talking about taking medicine or some medication or whatever. I'm talking about a healthy lifestyle, and cold and heat is a part of that book, of course, because it changed the mental status of people.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why we meet today is to talk about the advantages of cold plunges and also the combination of hot and cold therapy. So let's go into the detail. This is very personal also to me, since coming from music and being a health coach myself, yoga, meditation, all this and that. And we've been really working with that. And as you said, taking the nutrition, doing the movement, going to bed early, doing this and that, and having the morning routine since years. But the stress that the world triggers in us today is still here, right? So when we started to working with ice bathing, I realized, okay, that's another level of pain that we need to go for in order to have like a paradise on the other side of the outcome. So what's the main advantages of an ice bath or this hot and cold therapy?
Well, there are so many positive things about that, but of course you were talking about pain, another level of pain, and that's a good point, because many people having a lot of pain during the day. Some have it in the back or in the joints or whatever. Some people have it mentally, like being depressed and etc. from working too much, having too much stress. So having too much, you can say, having too much pain during the day because, you know, the boss is kicking their ass and things like that. But ice bathing or cold therapy and heat therapy is also stress and also pain, but it's more in a positive way. I would say it's more in a natural, in a evolutionary, normal way. So you have to bring the stress outside of the body. At the moment, many people have the stress inside the body, in the cells, in the brain, in the mitochondria, everywhere in the body, in the biochemical pathways. So that makes us ill, of course. So we have an inflammation, we're having depression and everything else. And cold is great because it brings the pain outside on the skin. So the first thing you feel when you go into the cold plunge is the cold shock response. So it's like, oh my God, this is really cold. That's so hard. But it immediately brings me into now. I'm not in the past where I'm thinking about the bad things happen in my life. I'm not in the future, anxiety, what happens tomorrow? Will I still have my job tomorrow? Will there be another big problem for the world? No, I'm only in this moment now. And I think this is the most important thing. And here you can see how cold plunge especially can train you mentally. It's a mental trainer for free, you can say. So this is something I love really. We have this, of course, the other topics like your immune system, your heart system has a profit from it, like everything that stress you on a biochemical and biological way brings you afterwards, when you do it regularly, a benefit. So we have this mentally, we have this in the immune system, we have this in the antioxidative system, we have this in the heart system. So like everywhere, I would say.
I love it when you explain it, and you can go really deep, because I know you can. You can explain what happens in the brain with the dopamine kick and in the body. Let's go really deep. Show me all you got.
Yeah, of course. So we have to separate two things. One is the things we see on social media, like use the ice bath for more dopamine. We have already enough dopamine, everybody, because we are always on the phone. We have in our jobs, our kids, our sports, whatever we're doing. Everybody has, I would say, enough dopamine. Of course, there are some people, they are ill. They have mental problems where they cannot produce enough dopamine. They develop something like a no-go typos, like I know what I have to do, but I cannot. But this is something different. But I don't think that we have to go to the ice bath to kick the dopamine production in our brain. This is not so important, I would say. Yeah, it's right that I feel great in the hours after ice bath. It's like I'm really happy. I'm really focused. I'm always smiling in the next hours of an ice bath. I have a lot of dopamine. That's right. But it change your mental structure over a longer time when you do it regularly. That's more important. And this has nothing to do with dopamine in my view. It's more like that you regulate your whole system. So when you go to the ice bath and the cold shock response starts, the heartbeat goes up, the cortisol levels, the stress hormones, everything goes up, the blood pressure goes up. So you are under hard and deep stress. That's totally right. So you are in a bad situation now. That's right. But after 30 to 45 seconds, many people can relax very fast in an ice bath. You try to breathe deeper. This is what people get taught when they do it in a group with a teacher, with a coach. And so you start to relax in the cold water. Some people fast, some people slow, some people never. But this is normally, I would say around 90-95% of the people come to a point where they enjoy the ice bath. And this is the moment when you do it more often, like, for example, 1 or 2 times a week would be enough for, let's say, some minutes, that you change your mental structure. So you come to a point where you can regulate stress. So this was something I would say the most people tell me after doing ice bath regularly over weeks and months, say that my stress level during the day is lower. I respond different to stress when I have stress in my job, in my sport, for example, when I go out to the field, to the cage, to the ring, wherever they have to compete. So they say it's when you've been 5 minutes in 5-degree water and you have the possibility to relax, then those things that happened on a regular day are not that, the problem is not that big anymore. You know what I mean? This
Totally.
is,
Because I experience it. We do
yeah,
it Dominic's doing it every day. I'm really just
yeah.
on the weekends because I'm having the kids during the week in the mornings and stuff. But yeah, as you say, like 1 to 2 times a week is already doing something. And I also came from like anxiety for some car accident thing that happened here and stuff like that. And I could really minimize that. So it's really like a therapist that we have on the balcony, you know?
Yes.
So that's really, really something beautiful for society. I also love the fact that it's coming more and more towards like everybody who wants to do that, because it was coming originally for all the professional players, sports people in the world, for the muscle recovery and all that, and experiencing now that it's also so good for the general health, for the immune system, and as we talked about the mental state of us. It's I think something that we really need in the society at the moment. So what's the combination from hot and cold? What would you recommend? Because people always ask me, should I like stop with the cold, or what's the recommendation from you there?
It's a good topic because I spend a lot of time in reading studies about cold and heat, and there are quite some good out there, you can say, like from Finland, from Japan, when it comes to heat therapy. And in the past, I always coached, do a cold day or do a hot day or do both. So decide before you go into the sauna or whatever you do. Today, I would say do whatever fits to your day and what you want to do today. So don't stress you with more training routine when it comes to cold and heat. I have to do 3 minutes of this and then 2 minutes of that, and I have to end with cold. Otherwise, it don't works. That's not right. So what we have in the body is we produce in heat shock proteins or cold shock proteins. This is really important biochemically because these things are responsible for other functions and pathways biochemically in the body to change things like blood pressure, like cortisol levels, etc. So really important. So there was this theory that when you start with, let's say, heat, and you start to produce heat shock proteins, and then you go into the cold, you stop the production of heat shock proteins. This is not 100% right. So if I was 50 minutes in a sauna, for example, I'm already on a, let's say, on a limit. There will be not more production if I go 2, 3, 4, 5 times more. So if I want to go now into the cold, that's fine. That's okay. I would not say that there is a perfect routine or something like that. Of course, when it comes to feeling, like what I like most, for example, when people say, I like it to go into the shower and do 1 minute of hot and 1 minute of cold. And I say, and how do you feel about that? And they say, I love it. It's the best way to start my day. Yeah, that's a joker. So you're on the right way. So do this, please. I would not say there is a scientific proven best routine. Do both. But what we can say is, after how many minutes it takes to increase, for example, growth hormones in the body when it comes to sauna. And we know from studies, for example, if I want to double my growth hormone production, I go into the sauna for 2 times 15 minutes with, 2 times 20 minutes with 80 degrees. And in between, I try to cool down. So in this study, they were sitting 30 minutes outside to come down again with the body temperature. When I want to increase my growth hormones 5 times, so that's a lot. So normally people have to take, often illegal drugs to do this. You go for 2 times 50 minutes, for example, with 100 degree, so much shorter, a little bit shorter, but much hotter. So normally a sauna is between 80, 85, maximum 90 degrees. And there was also a study that showed that when people going for an hour into the sauna, 1 hour, 60 minutes in the sauna, nobody will do this. Yeah? You should not do this. But you can increase your growth hormones 16 times. So that's crazy. So I'm after a surgery, for example. So if you torn your ACL or whatever, and 14 days after, when the doctor says you're okay to go to the sauna, yeah, please do it, because you increase the level of growth hormones. If your nutrition and supplementation is good, you help your body to heal with sauna. You help your bodybuilders help body to grow, to gain muscles with sauna. So it's not only about what our parents said, like, yeah, I like the sauna because it relaxes me. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's fine. But today I know I need at home a cold plunge and a sauna, because I cannot go every day to the gym. That's I'm a biohacker. That's my lifestyle. I love that. I need this small sauna at home because I want to decrease, for example, my risk of Alzheimer dementia, because that's something personal. I made a genetic test, and my risk of getting Alzheimer disease is 3 times higher than regular people. Yeah, and sauna reduces, when you go 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week in a 80-degree sauna, reduces the risk 65%.
Wow.
So it's just I just bring balance back, because my genetics says, hey, you have a high risk, and my lifestyle says, no, you don't have.
So that was a good choice from us to have that combination for the people out there from
Yes.
from the hot and the cold. I didn't know that about Alzheimer. That's great. I'm going to recommend a friend of mine for his
It's
mom.
nearly the same with other diseases for kids, like HDS. No, it's not right in English now.
Yeah, I know. AHDS,
It's German. It's English
Got
now.
it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So people,
Yes.
they are kids, mostly they are really cannot relax really good and things like that. So it helps here also very much. Blood pressure, same. So when I go to the sauna and when I came out, I have a blood pressure. The lowest I measured was 116 to 66 in for 3 to 4 hours. So that's really low, because I'm over 100 kilos, good trained, but over 100 kilos, 103, 104 kilos. I love to do powerlifting and strength sports. And my blood pressure is not 120 to 75 in a regular day base. So I need the sauna to bring my blood pressure down, but I have to do it regularly, because from once a week is not enough. And of course, we know if you have a middle age, like 40, 45, and you have too high blood pressure, you increase also over the lifestyle the risk of Alzheimer dementia again, or every type of dementia. So is the second puzzle part, piece from my puzzle I found when it comes to my brain health, for example. Yeah, so cold and heat, there's not one is better than the other.
Yeah, and it's a super combination. And it leads me also to my next question, because you mentioned it a little bit with the kids. I was always wondering, and I'm asked very often, what about the kids? Can they do that?
Yeah, why not? So, you're a mother, I'm a father. So in the past, we remember our time when we have been kids, and you go out of the home and your mother said, take your jacket and your hat and whatever and your gloves and everything because it's cold outside. And I was always the boy yeah. I remember when I was out with friends when I was a teenager, I wear just a t-shirt and the others wear a jacket. Today is nothing different. I don't have a winter jacket. Imagine this. I live in Austria. I don't have a winter jacket. I only have these normal jackets you use in September. You know what I mean? And I never wear gloves and things like that. Yeah. So we raise our kids maybe a little bit too soft when it comes to this natural part like heat and sports and etc. And on the other side, we try to teach them too much discipline, like in school and learning and things like that for school. So there's a little bit of a disbalance. But let kids play in the snow without shoes if they want.
No.
Don't disrupt this nearly perfect system of a kid, because a kid, evolutionary and from a biological base, knows what is the best for itself. So when to eat, when to drink, when to wear a jacket. So you don't have to tell this to a kid. I know that parents, and especially sometimes mothers like my mother, are afraid of that.
Yeah, it's a hard one for me too.
But in German, there was a club, I don't know, 70 years ago. They were swimming in a lake or in a river in Germany. It's a club for ice swimmers. And the name of the club in German was Verkühl dich täglich. So that means in English, get a cold every day. Yeah. So is it right in English? Get a
Yeah.
cold every day. Yeah, we bring the stress outside. Let the kids play in the snow if they want. Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Or
actually learn a lot from them. I see it every day with the two girls, and
yeah.
yeah, I'm also one of these mothers that have a
It's
hard
okay. I
time.
understand this totally.
Even though I
Yeah.
know,
And
and
if they
I
want to
like that.
go, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That I realized that I mean now we're at the ocean in
Yep.
Spain, and it's winter, and of course it's not super hot, it's not super cold, but they can go in the water and they have no
Yep.
complaint and stuff. And so I let them, and I also like that part where you and they realize, wow, I can do so much more than I think that I'm capable
Yep.
of with the cold water. And that's something, talking about discipline or anything like that school system, that I love to give to them,
Yep.
because yeah, they can learn from that you are so much more capable of what you think you can do in the body. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all sitting in our hot cooked
Cozy homes.
chairs, and
Yes.
yeah, and we're talking about getting out of the comfort zone, and so, and here it
Yeah.
is, we also
I'm
had to
standing.
create that. Yeah, we I think we had to create it to come out of that and create more resilience again.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah.
this is totally right. And when we coming back to the kids again, when it comes to a cold plunge, if they want to do it, don't give too much pressure on this, but let them if they want to try it. So I've seen parents telling kids when they are with them coming to the Danube River, for example, where I do some courses. and they say, yeah, no, it's not good for you to go in. I will do it and you stay outside. And I say, why? Why are you allowed to go into the cold water? And why not your 10-year-old boy is allowed to do this? So don't be afraid of this. Let him decide. My son tried it many times. He goes into the water and comes out immediately because it's 5-6 degrees. It was too cold for him. But he tried it. And if a kid plays in the water and maybe you notice having blue lips and you touch him and he's really cold and you say, I think it's enough now. If he says, no, it's good, then it's good. Let him decide this.
That is really inspiring for me, and I'm gonna go much more for that, because I think when we talk about it, I feel, okay, yes, we are also fear-driven, right? Yeah. And this is just a mirror of it. I mean, of course, we want to protect the kid, and it's also maybe depending a little bit on the age of the kid, but they know so much better. And hearing all these like old voices in us, like from the grandmother or so, saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, whatever, kind of just repeating that, and the next generation is like crazy, right? So yeah, I mean, this is helping us to overcome fears and old patterns, right?
Yeah.
And give more trust to this young generation, also to find out themselves what they know already, and they know and they feel it. That's very, very inspiring. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you are totally right. We are sitting too much. We're having this sedentary lifestyle. We are in our cozy home, and now it's winter also in Austria. It's February, so today is at 14 degrees, so it's very warm, but will go down again to 0 in 1-2 weeks, 100%. But we are at home, we're having the heater, we're having television, we're having internet and food and the fridge and everything. So it's really comfortable, of course. And we are...
And we're still complaining.
Sorry?
And we're still complaining.
But the problem is that we don't stress ourselves enough with the healthy stress. So that, and when I say healthy stress, and people ask me then, what do you mean with healthy stress? And this is fasting, for example, or sports. Sports is a typical classical healthy stressor. If you do it regularly on a healthy base, then you will become much more fitter and healthier, of course, and resilient. And the same is with cold and heat, 100%. When you start this with kids, with teenagers, even better, of course, because I started with cold plunges when I was 35, so really late, I would say. And before that, I was also like, oh, no, it's not good. Cold is a problem, and now you get ill. No, that's not right. So, and if you go down with the age from a teenager to a baby, for example, I would not say that a baby should do cold plunges, but we know that babies don't shiver. So with the muzzles, this when it's cold and you start to shiver. But we do this. Teenagers also do that. So if you go outside and you don't wear a big winter jacket, you start to shiver because it's cold. But when you're well trained in the cold, like doing regularly for 1-2 years ice bathing or cold plunges, then this process stops. And that's the moment where I tell people, you are now on level 2. So we are not a beginner anymore. So you don't shiver because your body produced a lot of brown fat. So that sounds weird a little bit, but when I'm talking about brown fat and when I'm talking about having a lot of brown fat, we're talking about 400 or 500 grams. So like a medium steak, I would say. So that's not a lot. But this brown fat contains a lot of mitochondria and a lot of iron. So it's a storage. It's the perfect storage of energy. So that means when I go out of the Danube, when I'm in the winter, it has 5 degrees in the water and nearly 0 degree outside. I came out with my shorts And people start to talk to me, and I'm talking with them for 10 minutes. And they say, is it not cold for you here now? You don't shiver. I say, I know my body, there's no need to shiver. My body produces energy at the moment. And they say, what are you talking? I say, look, like babies. Babies, they have no muscles, nearly no muscles. So just a little bit, but they have a lot of fat, and they have a lot of brown fat, and they don't shiver. They produce a lot of ATP while when it's too cold for them. When we lost this evolutionary, when from growing up from 1 year to 35, we lost this. So that's the reason why we shiver. It's a process there's no need for. That's a benchmark, I would say. So if you say, do I do enough cold plunges? Yeah, when this process started. You don't need an MRI or something like that to check it. Just stop to shiver.
Nice. Very interesting. Learning lots. So I have two more questions. What's the difference, or is there more benefit from taking a cold or ice bath compared to a cold shower?
Yeah, there's a big difference. I hate cold showers. So now, yeah, after talking to you 25 minutes, I have to tell you the secret. I hate it. So there is nothing worse I can do as a biohacker than taking a cold shower in my bathroom. Why? Because it looks like you're in this bathroom in this cabin inside, and cold water. There's no sun. There are no flowers. There are no trees. There's nothing. But I have a cold plunge on my terrace. And when I sit there inside, you can check this on Instagram, when I'm sit there inside nearly every day or every second day, just for 2 minutes. There's no reason for me to challenge myself longer than this. The positive effects are after 2 minutes, they are already there. But the view is trees and birds and flowers and the sky, the air, the clouds, the sun, the moon, whatever. Depends on the time. So coming to what I want to say is having a cold shower is a lot of pain, and it's mentally much harder for me and for everybody. In summer, I have to do it because I don't have a cool system like you with a machine to have every time when I want cold water. I have this classic ice pots, like this works only in winter. That's
I think
really
we have
bad.
to work on that.
Sorry?
I think we have to work on that.
Yeah, please. Because in summer I have a really big
Yeah.
problem. So I go to the mountains to jump into a river or jump into a lake, and you have again this 6-7 degrees. That's great, but I'm surrounded with nature.
Yeah.
And in the bathroom, I'm not. I hate it, really. I hate it. But in some, 2 to 3 times a week, I just put a cold water into my the English word for Wanne,
Oh, at the top, yeah.
Yeah, the tub. Thank you. And that's it. That's everything I can do, because in Vienna you don't have these gyms with that. Yeah,
We
that's
will bring it to Vienna, though.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
So-
please. In my gym, we don't have it, and
Yeah, we want it for everybody, because as we said, it's so good, and that's the vision, to have it for the people.
Yeah.
And practical, around the corner, and if you don't have like a lake around or something, and the Danube is probably not so cold in the summer.
Yeah.
too.
No, in summer, no, it's not enough. But let me just finish one
Yeah.
thing. In the shower, the water is running, and everybody who
Yeah.
knows, have you been ever in a lake or in a river? It's totally different, because when water is so fast, then you cannot produce this little 1 millimeter warm layer on your skin. So
Yeah.
that's the main reason why 6 degrees water in a river and 6 degrees water in a lake feels totally different. So for me, it's easy to jump into my ice pot. It doesn't matter how cold it is, because the water is still, and so for me, it's much more easier to relax. So a
Yeah,
tub
also the
or a
swimming
pot or
in a
whatever is
cold
much
pool
better.
or
Yeah.
something is much harder
Yeah.
because you have to move. You don't have the warmth barrier around the
Yes.
skin. Yeah.
When you move, it's the same. To move is ice swimming to ice bathing is
Mhm.
totally different. So it's, I would say, another level.
Yeah. Well, Richard, thank you so much. It was very inspiring. I learned a lot. I hope that everybody who's watching this is very inspired to jump in the cold too, do something for your health. I mean, not only the plunges, the hot, the cold. Really think about your lifestyle, what you eat, what you better not eat and drink, what you know how you live, and to give back. And also, I love very much the part talking about the kids and.
Yeah.
There is so much in that field that we can do in trusting them and breaking that old system and trying to get over fear and all patterns within us. And yeah, we can do that by meditating. We can do that by having inspiring talks, by trying out, by yeah, being inspired. So yeah, thank you so much for today.
Of course. Of
Is
course. Thank
there
you for inviting me. Thanks a lot. And just to say on the end, I hope everybody is getting a little bit inspired about our talk and just try this natural stress a little bit and try to to change your life and reduce the stress in the office a little bit and increase the stress when it comes to nature. Yeah, so it will help you to stay healthy. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Thanks
Thank you.
everybody for
Bye bye.
watching, and see you soon again. Bye.